Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of Z Nation on Syfy, the Syfy Season 3, Episode 4, which was called Murphy's Miracle. And I want to apologize for the lateness of the review. I know the episode aired last night, and I did watch it, but I chose to review Van Helsing first this week, and I was just tired, and I decided I should probably try to get some sleep, because there are other things I was wanting to do as well, besides, record videos and such. But, I want to make sure I got around to doing a video on Z Nation for sure. I'm going to keep trying to review each episode this season. It is just a really fun show, and, I think you can enjoy things like this, The Walking Dead, Van Helsing, The Strain, all for their own merits, whether they're more self-serious or more over-the-top and comedic-based like this show is. But, we've talked about that I don't know how many times. But I keep bringing it up because people seem to keep wanting to, draw comparisons or make competitions between this and The Walking Dead or something, like I said before, I just think they both really excel at what they're trying to do, with Walking Dead being more self-serious and this being more comedic and over-the-top. I think they're both really good at what they do. But anyway, back to the actual episode. I really liked it, I'd say I liked it about as much as last week's episode. And last week's episode I enjoyed a lot, because of course we finally got back to the present, instead of like a big flashback episode. And this week continued that, we got more of a look at what Murphy's actually trying to do. We've seen more of, sort of like how much control he does have over 10K. And I still think something more is going to come with that. We see that 10K, he is, there's still more of him in there than there is for other people Murphy has turned into his blended servants or whatever they are. Like with Cassandra, she's just a complete zombie almost the whole time, minus, taking some of the Z-weed and stuff. But with 10K, it still seems like he has a lot of resistance in him. And people are questioning why that is. Is it a plot hole? Is it because he was bitten on the neck and not the cheek? Does that make a difference in how much control Murphy has over him? Is it just that 10K disliked Murphy so much that's helping him sort of like almost power through it? I don't know. But I do think something more is going to happen with 10K. I don't think he's just going to have to be put down or anything. I think he might actually be able to overcome this, because I think he is a character that they should keep around. He's one of the biggest fan favorites on the show. So I think it would be a mistake for him to just simply go down that Cassandra path. But I do sort of like Murphy and 10K's dynamic, just their, loathing for each other, really. Although, if you remember last season, the Collector episode, Murphy did actually help 10K at one point. But, I feel like, Murphy's definitely being built up as the big bad at this point. And thus, this story with the man and whoever the man is working for turns out to be more of a threat than we realized. I don't know. But Murphy, I don't know if he's ever going to be redeemed or anything like that. And, he's just completely, lost all his, any little affection for humanity he had left. And now he's trying to build his own, sort of a private army and such. And we see Murphy right at the beginning of the episode. He, finds this couple with a little girl, and, she's slowly dying, and Murphy, decides to help them and heal her, which at first seems nice, but then he realizes, he pretty much just turned her into another one of his slaves. So, your daughter's alive, but she's gonna, do whatever the hell Murphy wants her to. So, congratulations. So we see that. And then, of course, we see our group looking for Murphy, and we see Murphy actually planted what they're tracking him with, and this regular zoo just, it's just like rapidly running around and such, and they know that how Murphy might actually be getting smarter. I think that might be part of it too. Whatever's going on with him, is probably progressing even more so, and I think that's probably actually giving him a more intellectual mind. And when we see him at the building later, which he's trying to make him basically into his headquarters or his throne room, really, just the way he's planning stuff out and figuring out how defensible it is and stuff, it does seem like he's really getting more of a mind for this world and such. But I think Murphy's always been somewhat intelligent. An asshole, yes, but he's always had his wits about him, I think. But I do think as part of that he is probably becoming more of a dangerous mind, because of what he now is. And then we get what was probably zombie kill of the week, I guess, along with Hector's kill a little bit later in the episode. We see Addy really put her electrified Z-Whacker to use, and just she's smooth as hell with that thing. She's always smooth as hell with the Z-Whacker, but just the way she just sticks it into the Z and then just perfection. And Hector, Al Scorpion, seems to be admiring Addy as well. So it's a possibility. I don't know. They seem to have a bit of a dynamic going on, so I don't know if they're building something like that or what, or maybe it's destined to be Citizen Z and Addy, right? But still, yeah, Addy, awesome here. Then a big part of this episode, besides Murphy's plans and what's going on with Citizen Z in the Arctic, is that we met this, United States postal worker, this mailman, who seemed to be like a last survivor of this small town, and this herd of zombies is following him around everywhere. We are led to believe that they are the citizens of the town, and we didn't know if they're following him around because of food he's carrying around or something else, but we find out more about this town situation as the episode goes on. And then you notice that these Z's aren't like running or anything; they're actually sort of like walking, walkers. And they actually knock The Walking Dead a little bit here. They reference that because the guy ends up saying you'd have to be an idiot to get killed by walkers. Just because of how slowly this guy has managed to just go about his day and his routine that he does, just by sort of like lightly jogging around or just going where he knows he should and such, and how much time he has. So I felt like they're kind of knocking out some of the characters that are written on The Walking Dead, with them always ending up surrounded by the walkers and such. Of course, it's a very different type of show, and it's not like our Z Nation group has been surrounded by like a massive herd with no way out like the Walking Dead crew has, but and our characters are also more over the top in Z Nation, thus like more capable in an over the top way, I guess. But I still like the knock on The Walking Dead here. I love both shows, but it's good to get a little nod to them in one way or another. Let's see what else. And Citizen Z, of course, he's still with that family, and he's pretty much lost faith in himself and doesn't think he really has much more to do. He thinks Citizen Z is dead. He's going by his real name now, where he's trying to, and he's just pretty much just not dead, but he's pretty much just like calling it quits. He's not really trying anymore, and we see that sort of rejuvenated at the later part of the episode. And then with 10K, that dynamic was explored again with Murphy quite a bit this episode. And we see that it looked like he was thinking about jumping at one point just to sort of putting an end to it, because he really does not want to be Murphy's servant. But of course Murphy stops him from doing that, and it just becomes a question of how much can 10K actually resist this. And then the mailman, he can't bring himself to mercy these Z's, and he lives off of this Christmas food in the mail, the post office, the fruitcake, and Doc seems to enjoy it, but no one else wanted to eat it. I always wanted to mention something, by the way. I live in Michigan. I'm going to Grand Rapids Comic-Con October 21st, and I'll probably have the chance to actually meet Russell Hodgkinson, who plays Doc on Z Nation, so that's going to be pretty fucking awesome. I love so many shows. It's good that I finally get a chance to meet someone, and Doc, he's an awesome character, and Russell Hodgkinson seems like a really down-to-earth guy, so I'm really looking forward to that. And once I do meet him, I will, of course, share pictures and such, and, probably get my Z Nation Season 2 DVD signed, so that'll be cool. Anyway, Murphy talks more about his New World Order, and 10K calls him insane, and Murphy says he's not insane, he's something different, because the definition of insane, as Murphy says, is doing something over and over again and expecting different results. But Murphy's doing something completely different, completely off the books from what anyone else has done before, really. But yeah, obviously Murphy is insane. Something has clicked the wrong way because of everything he's been through and what he is now. It's just put his mind on this certain course But, I still think Murphy's a pretty fun character. I talked about that before. From our perspective, Murphy can be an entertaining character. But if we were actually in this world and a part of this group, we'd hate Murphy. I know some people are more frustrated with the character and such, but I still think he's fun to watch. Let's see. Now, of course, I can't remember her name, but the Chinese woman, she is still trying to contact her people. And her and Addy sort of clash over how to use this radio signal they actually do pick up. Addy, of course, wants to contact Citizen Z, and the woman makes contact with her people, or so she thinks, until she hears this noise, which actually indicates that the whole thing's done. They've called it quits, and everyone's probably either dead or just went their separate ways. So she loses faith, and Addy, she actually uses this to contact Citizen Z. And this contact actually rejuvenates Citizen Z, he, with believing, with now knowing that Addison Carver is still alive, Operation Bite Mark and such, and this sort of gives him the kick in the ass that he needed to sort of get going again, as well as seeing that the family is staying with, they're running very low on, supplies and food especially, so they've had to ration quite a bit, and so much to the point where they've trained themselves to only take a couple bites at a time per day and stuff like that. Let's see. And something interesting, I don't know if I heard this wrong, but apparently there's a plane around there that only has enough fuel or enough left in it for a one-way trip apparently. So I'm wondering if it's possible if with that we could finally see Citizen Z come to the States, and or at least maybe he'll end in the area with everyone else or something. Maybe he can finally see Operation Bite Mark in person. I think they need to do that at some point. We need to have Citizen Z and our group of survivors on screen at once, together. And maybe this plane is the way to go. I think that'd be a really good idea. I think they need to do that at some point. So maybe we'll see that towards the end of the season and going into season 4. We'll see. Let's see. Of course, Murphy finds this building he likes. He just wanting to set it up as sort of his headquarters or his throne room, really. And then he brings up Lucy again. Lucy is someone who he's seen him with a little bit in the flashback episode of the premiere, but we haven't seen Lucy in the present, since midway through season 2. But we find out that Murphy's actually planning on getting her back. He just gave her away at the time because that was the right thing to do at the time, and also the people with him, Warren, Addy, and the others, wanted, didn't really want that risk, with Lucy being there. But now Murphy believes he has the means to be able to take care of her properly, and sort of wants a daughter as part of his new world order, really. So he does plan on getting Lucy back, which is good. Well, not good, but it's a good dynamic for the show. I think it was pretty cute when Murphy did up Lucy, so we'll see how that goes. With the parents, he did turn them, the people he left her with anyway, so he could probably easily somehow get a hold of them again and get them to bring her back to him or something. Let's see. And Ender ends up attacking the group, of course, and the little members of the group at the end of season 2, they're attacked by the Ender, and they end up tying up the Ender, and this is where Murphy really fucks with 10K's head, because 10K's just refusing to shoot the guy over and over just to kill him. Then Murphy's yelling at him, just pull the trigger, pull it. Then 10K's yelling back, refusing, but then just out of his own mind, he pulls it a few times. And, of course, that gives Murphy the satisfaction, putting the thought in his head that 10K is pretty much powerless with Murphy now, and how much that would grind 10K and such. But Murphy ends up shooting it anyway, and killing the Ender, which is kind of funny. But yeah, really, Murphy's a dick, But we had that. And then we also find out more about our friendly mailman, and it turns out that he basically went insane after the zombie apocalypse hit, and he used this as an opportunity to basically kill everyone in the town, as well as strangers, and he would keep them alive as sort of trophies. And we find out when the shit started going down, he just went around and started shooting people, just because he has this really deep-rooted, misguided resentment towards everyone and stuff like that. And luckily, the Chinese woman is able to trap him with some disease, and they do end up killing him, which of course is good. He's devoured. And I like that they're sort of making this woman, like recurring character, or like a mainstay character, at least for this season. I do believe she's probably going to be killed off at some point this season, but it's good that they're keeping her around and not just like taking her off episode of, like they do with some others. So that's good. And then we have the family who, Murphy had, bitten their daughter earlier to, heal her, and they visit him to, pay respects. And then the husband asks Murphy to turn his wife, and that just gives Murphy a big smirk because, he's definitely building an army now. So, yeah, overall that's mainly what went on this episode, and overall I really liked it. I'd say I liked it about as much as last week's. I'd give this episode probably about an 8.5, I think. Really good episode, and Season 3's definitely been pretty fun so far. Can't wait to see where it goes. And, with my rating system, people are probably going to question this, like, I might rate like an episode of Z Nation an 8.5, and maybe like I'll rate an episode like The Walking Dead this October an 8.5, or an episode of Game of Thrones or something, and people will be like, oh, so you think you like Z Nation more than Game of Thrones or something? No, I don't rank things with comparing in mind. I rank the episodes just based solely on how much I enjoyed it, not comparing it to anything else. Just want to make that clear. I think that makes sense. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought about the episode. If there's anything I missed, which I'm sure there was, feel free to leave a comment below. We'd love to talk about it more with you guys. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.